Okay, so on to my stuff, which is going to be very import heavy. Very import heavy. Didn't spend much in January, so I kind of been a bit stupid. First things first, was actually one of Cliff's pickups. But I was like, I need that, and he was like, it's a spare copy, you can have it. So
brilliant game, Cave. I love Cave Shooters. Cave Shooters are absolutely fantastic. I actually went to the expense of buying an import machine just to buy some of their bloody games.
the Day on Patch is fantastic. Any excuse to kind of like stretch it for as long as possible to make me forced to play it and get some reasonable footage, because the thing is,
Rising Star Games were fantastic because they released a lot of Caves games, but they've drived up. They've stopped. I mean, the plan was to do one a year, and last year was the first time they missed the shooter. They actually released something else. I cannot remember what it was. Oh, Persona. Wasn't it Persona last year?
Yeah.
So, and that's it, and now there's no more shooters. Cave have actually just shut their bloody console development. American head down, so we won't see anything like that. Right. The next machine.
Right, basically XS, Panzer Dragoonish style on-rail shooter, bit sort of Star Foxy with giant robots, of course, but it's me. Just has like the worst screenshots on the back that you've ever seen, so you can't actually see what's going on.
I don't know if you can see that, but hey. Him and Mex is really surprised that you never bought the old bloody Steel Battalion on the Xbox.
I wanted it, but I couldn't afford it.
It's cheaper when you see it now at 25 quid.
Yeah, I couldn't afford it at the time.
Just need a spare room.
Right, okay, I'm on to the imports now. Start with those. A couple of PlayStation 2 imports. Basically Fantasy Star Generation 1 and Generation 2 of the Sega Ages collection for the PS2, which are basically remakes of Phantasy Star 1 and 2 on the Master System and Mega Drive respectively. Japanese only, unfortunately, although there are translations out there available. So I'm just going to use the guide eventually and try and do it. They look so gorgeous, especially Phantasy Star 1 in comparison to like the original versions. They just look gorgeous. So yeah, not bad at all. Right, on to Wii stuff, I think. More Super Robot Tyson time, so Super Robot Tyson Neo this time.
You'll be able to watch the footage of this import game.
Same stuff, only sort of 3D. Turn-based strategy RPG-ish thing with big robots. So, very, very cool, very awesome. I love those games.
Yes, he doesn't like robots. He wants to be a robot.
Earthseeker, very strange Monster Hunter-esque RPG. I showed you some stuff there the other day, didn't I?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It's absolutely beautiful artwork and really, really nice artwork style to it. It looks difficult.
And you said you wouldn't be able to say anything if you sat up here this time. I haven't got
in
a
the
clue
Japanese,
so far.
oh yeah, yeah, but I'm moving on to the Saturn stuff.
Hey, me, I know what we're talking about.
Right, okay.
Nintendo, boo.
Another really, really odd one. iShield 21, which the best way of describing is what Punch-Out does to boxing, this does to American football. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, it's so it's all sort of mini games and weirdness and sort of stuff. It's not. It's fun. It's just really cool. It's actually a hell of a lot of fun. I mean, I'm really into American football anyway, or used to be, and I just really enjoy it. I like anime, and it's from an anime series. It is from an anime series originally, so looks awesome. Actually by Nintendo. Toshinden, which is probably something most people haven't heard of for quite a while.
Yeah.
I don't think it's actually related to Battle Arena Toshinden, it just shares the same name.
Played that Toshinden Ura is the one I played recently.
Was that a PlayStation 1?
Yes,
PlayStation 1
yeah, original
game.
PlayStation 1 game Toshinden, Battle Arena Toshinden.
So, and you had Virtua Fighter, PlayStation 1, you had Battle Arena Toshinden, didn't you?
Yes, and there was no contest. Virtua Fighter was easily, even the bad conversion was easily hands down.
Yeah, PlayStation had Tekken.
The best.
Yeah, it wasn't
Not for a long time.
It wasn't quite a while.
That was
so
about
they had
6
Tekken.
months.
Yeah,
That was about a good
while.
6 months. That was. It was a while. Right, and Gundam Generation, sorry, G Generation Wars? Yeah.
Pages came off.
SDG Generation Wars, yeah. Oh dear. But yeah, this is basically like Robot Tyson. Turn-based, RPG-ish robots, and I show you sort of very much like Shining Force. Where I was showing you the footage the other day. It looks awesome.
Yeah, it looks quite
The
good.
battle things and stuff, the animations on the battles is just amazing. Really, really awesome. So I've got 3 of these on the PS2, but I can't play them. So it's the first one I can actually play, which is fantastically awesome. So I'm
We'll
really
jump
chuffed
into
with
the
that.
future about 10 years, but then we should actually have the machines to play our import PlayStation stuff.
How many games have you actually got that you cannot actually play?
I'm up to 6 on my PlayStation 2.
That's 20. Right, 3 English ones now for the Wii. Wii Music, which is weird. Really, really,
Never
really
played
weird.
it.
I have. It's awful.
Yeah,
Yes, it's horrible.
Adrian loved it when he got it. I
It,
remember.
it's really odd. It's
Came
more like
out.
a little sort of experience than it is a game.
Yeah.
It's kind of a strange little experiment.
Isn't that where you can use the Wii remote and pretend it's a flute
Yeah,
or
it plays a
something?
flute of violin.
Yeah,
and
yeah. It doesn't actually really work, does it?
No, it's kind of weird and odd. But I say it was very cheap. It was like £2. It's all complete and everything else. So
From our favourite seller up the road.
indeed, it's. Right, Puzzle Quest. Nice disc release of it. It's the only one that actually was a disc release. Yes, it came out on the DS before Sony One points out, but that wasn't on disc, was it? It was on the cartridge. So yeah, so Puzzle Quest on disc. So £5.
It's Puzzle Quest.
Pay slightly less than that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got it on the 360 on download and stuff. I just wanted a physical copy, so nice to have. Prince of Persia: Rival Swords, again fairly cheap. Basically, what's it? 2 Princes, whatever it's called.
Oh right,
The 2 thrones.
Yeah.
So Rival Swords controls aren't great. Feel a bit awkward.
Big
but-
sequel to Rival Schools.
Rival
My
Swords.
school has the katana.
No, Rival Swords is actually the combination of Rival Schools and Soul Calibur. That would be awesome.
IVSQ of people coming out with their swords and their pencil, flicking them into swords and shit.
Right, okay, continuing with the back onto the imports, we have, I mentioned it a while ago, I think it's All Japan Pro Wrestling featuring Virtua,
Yeah.
which is basically the precursor to Giant Graham.
Yeah.
Giant Graham is basically All Japan Pro Wrestling 2.
Yeah.
Um,
Sorry, Graham's like, yeah.
I have Giant Graham as well. I'll be showing you in a minute.
It's giant, but it only weighs a gram.
Right. Superfire Pro Wrestling Blazing Tornado, which is a very arcadey
He's like
Saturday Night
Superfire Pro.
Slam sort of thing. I love me Firefly, and you're going to notice that in this bunch of pickups now. Now I've finally sort of got around to getting some import stuff. These are pretty much titles that I've really been interested in. Some Japanese wrestling games.
The PAL PS2 launch is on his list.
Yeah, I
as well.
still want. I'd be quite happy just getting an American copy. To be honest, I could just get like an American copy.
At least you could play the PAL version.
Yeah. No, I mean on the
Yeah.
PS3.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, get it on the PS3, the American account. Right, 6-man scramble, Fire Pro Wrestling. This one's a serious pro wrestling. Blazing Tornado, very arcadey. This is much more serious. You've got Hulk Hogan in it, Randy Savage, blah blah blah, all with different names.
He showed me the other day. He's been going through renaming them to their proper names.
Yes, you can rename them, so that's cool. Oh dear. But no, awesome games. All cost about £5 to £6 each. Around that region, £5 each. So not unreasonable. Had to get the Capcom beat 'em ups as well. Like I said, this was pretty much me kind of getting a lot of stuff that I've been fancying for a long time.
After me buying
And I
his
haven't got
cartridge.
because you've got the cartridge. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I must get that, must get
Yeah.
this, must get that. So because I only had it since Christmas, so this is the first time I've been sort of spending out really.
My
so.
personal #1 Saturn game he's about to show me.
Vampire Saviour.
What can be said? The best version ever. No version has come close. The Saturn version was made. They had all the games. They combined them for the Saturn version. You had every character playable. And what was fantastic about it is basically you play through the game, don't lose around. You unlock EX options. Shove the whole game into English, and it's uncensored English. So you got the kinkiness, the sluttiness, and all that from Morrigan. But on top of that, an absolutely fantastic game with an annoying as bastard bollocks Jedi. Vampire Saviour is just fantastic. Even the latest releases, even the newest Xbox Live Arcade launch, while they've updated them and then they've renewed them, they're still not what the Saturn version was.
And
Quite
also there's the
disappointed.
pad, the Saturn pad. You
Yeah.
can't go wrong with the Saturn pad and Capcom beat 'em ups with a 6-button configuration.
Yeah. Perfection personified that way.
Although arcade stick is a good compromise, but the Mark II Saturn pad's still
Funky
nice.
silver Saturn Japanese arcade stick.
Yeah, proper Sanwa
Yeah.
thing. Just you know, just build it around your lazy boy. You know, it's, right, another Capcom beat 'em up, another must-have, which is Japan only again. Cyberbots.
Awesome game. Basically, imagine you beat 'em ups. You're in a mech. Hey. It's a beat 'em up next. What could be said? Awesome little thing. Go through it once again. Don't
But it's very strange because you've got you choose your pilot and then you choose your mech.
Yeah, your mech, which is also set to a group, like the bloody group and all that.
Yeah, and so it's all it all feels very different. It all feels very fresh.
Akuma, he's awesome. Just a Cyberbot style Akuma is
Oh,
really
awesome! Cyberguki.
should be made of cheese though.
As always, it's right. Steam Gear Mash, which kind of sounds like something you'd buy from the frozen food section, but it's pretty awesome. It's kind of like a strange 3D isometric Sonic Blast style shooter.
Yeah. Alright,
Sort of
cool.
wander around,
Yeah.
jumping platforms and shooting and stuff. It's really good. I've been wanting that since I saw it in a magazine in
Yeah, it's
about
fun, though.
'96 or something like that. And really awesome as always. Spine car, blah 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 blah.
Spine and registration is when they're complete. Normally you get one without the other.
Fair play.
The next one we was playing the other day.
Because it's awesome and it's Macross. Super Dimension Fortress Macross. Do You Remember Love? To give it its full title, and it is just awesome. It's not a very good game, but it's just a massive homage to Macross,
Yeah.
which is just fantastic. If you like a licensed game on Macross, then that's what it is.
He
you know.
buys it before you release it.
Yeah, well, no, not really. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I wouldn't touch.
No.
So what kind of game is it? A beat 'em up, shoot 'em up?
Sideways scrolling shooter.
Okay.
Sideways scrolling shooter. What I will do in the meantime is do that.
Yeah.
Behind it.
Yes.
Yeah. But basically, you fly along the screen, you Area 88 style.
Yeah.
And if you want to transform to the robot.
UN
you
squadron
That's
style
cool.
thing, you sort of transform
Yes,
and
sir.
all that sort of stuff.
And you played it the other night round here, and it's a wicked game. It wasn't able to finish the first level, and he went to show me how you don't finish the first level as well.
Yes, but I got to the boss.
Yeah.
That was the difference. I almost got him as
Very when he
well.
played it not long before I played
I
it.
almost got him as well. I almost got him. Right. Okay. Still on Robot Tyson again. Robot Tyson F Final on the Saturn, which is Robot Tyson game I can actually play for a change on the Saturn. So robots, menus, fighting, stats, and shining forceness.
And me not knowing nothingness.
Well, you can see it's very much like the old Shining Force, sort of there.
Yeah, it's all gridded out and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah. So,
Nice little card included in the old box.
which is all pretty. It's nice and
We
good.
love ordering from overseas because we'll get little gifts, like a little card, a little sweet or something like that.
Origami and
Yeah.
nice little thank you things on the origami that are all handwritten. So
Really,
this
really
is a
good.
yacht which I've made with origami, which is all quite pleasant. So I can go back up there. Fighting Vipers, which is purely for Pepsi Man.
Yeah, he's
If
awesome.
anyone knows, it's he's the hidden character in only the Japanese version, and he has his own game, which I mentioned before, which is also awesome. But
The Fight the Vipers itself is really awesome, but add Pepsi Man to it, is that?
Who is
really
Pepsi
awesome.
Man, guys?
the Japanese Pepsi mascot.
Yeah. Basically, a great big silver guy with a Pepsi logo that runs around.
Imagine the T1000 was sponsored by Pepsi.
Yeah, and branded with Pepsi.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
And
Okay.
there's but cheery and just running a lot and
yeah. It doesn't do a lot of that sort of finger through the head sort of stuff. Right. Fire Pro Wrestling for the Dreamcast, which I can't actually play. It doesn't seem to come out on my telly very well. I've tried every cable I can try, and
I think I've got the same one and it doesn't work as well.
yeah. Giant Graham, which is All Japan Pro Wrestling 2, and very good game. I want to get the third one. I do want to get the third one. But again, sort of like £5 sort of thing. So
yeah, awesome.
you can't complain for the sort of prices that I've been paying for these lots. So it was just basically a lot of stuff I wanted to pick up for a long time.
As long as it's not a shooter, import stuff is so cheap. It's not a shmup. Import stuff is so cheap on the older Xbox.
In general, apart from the niche stuff, it's just there's the odd niche title, the Taramarus and whatever, that are just ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, but in general, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that used to be expensive that's really come down. 04 Champ Doozy J Type R, which I bought because I just wanted to say that sentence in one go.
How long have you been practicing that one for?
Yes, it's a while. Just been rocking quietly backwards and forwards, going 04 Champ Doozy J Type R. You know. Notice how I actually had to look at that again before I said it. It is a mouthful. But basically, it's a drag race. It's a 2D drag racing game. It's very weird. It's kind of cool. But it's originally on the PC Engine and also on Super Nintendo as well. Super Famicom, I should say. So I just thought I'd get it. It's sealed, new and sealed as well, actually.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
It's like £5. So right. Mobile Suit Gundam Side Story Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3, which is cool. Slightly longer story to get in Part 3, but doesn't matter. All nice and really good condition by the looks of it, and it's really nice.
Yeah.
It's basically 3D mech action, and it works with the virtual on stick as well. So I would really like one of those, just the sound, just to sort of play that. But a very good game. It's actually probably one of the best mech games. Most of these Gundam games sometimes aren't the best mech games. That is very good. It's probably better than Gun Griffin or anything like that. It's kind of a similar age.
I think mech games with the older virtual on sticks just makes it all more connected when you play it.
Yeah. It's just, you know, it's still Battalion Junior. You know, still Battalion Junior. It's kind of awesome. Right, Quo Vadis, which is the only reason I bought this Mikimoto artwork on the cover. The guy did Macross basically.
Right.
So I saw his
you can
artwork.
see the Macrossy.
Yeah. You can spot Mikimoto a mile off. It's kind of a tactical RPG with spaceships, and it's not particularly good, but it has some lovely animation that was done by Mikimoto, and that's the only reason I really bought it. I say you can see the quality animation on that one. Yeah. It's all sort of proper, really nice kind of, you know, animation and stuff. So yes, basically. Capcom versus SNK Pro. It's ridiculous how cheap this is now compared to how it was. I paid like £6 something for it. I think it might have been almost
£7 versus SNK with Dan and Joe.
And everything unlocked as well. Which I normally moan about, but I've done it like 3 times.
Doing it all in Pro.
I've done it 3 times before.
All
in the normal version. I've done it 3 times before. So having everything unlocked and having Joe and Dan is actually a really nice bonus for actually getting that version and not the original one. So yeah, fantastic game. I mean, this I think complements 2 really well. You need 1 and 2 because you've got all the different versions of the characters in this. There's like 2 versions of every different character, and 2 is still awesome. But there's a lot of stuff in this that isn't in 2. Mostly the secondary versions of the characters.
Yeah, took them all out.
And all that stuff. Yeah. And they just sort of like standardised characters rather than having 2 different ones. And Gundam Side Story again, this time on the Dreamcast, which is again 3D mech thing. The controls are not as good as the Saturn version. I tried it the other night, and I really struggled to actually work out what I was doing. And everyone and everything I've seen has said the same thing. The controls are not as good as the Saturn one. The Saturn one's really simple and easy to play. And this is actually quite complicated, but it's still supposed to be really good. The graphics are really nice for the Dreamcast. That's one thing I did notice on it, but
courtesy of Ian from Playaway, the little collection we got from over there.
Yeah, which is awesome. It's the one pickup that I sort of that you picked up.
Well, I picked up for him because I know it
says Gundam. I'll pick it up for him, which is awesome and always appreciated. So yep, that's it for
almost it. One digital pickup we both bought this month. Strider.
Oh yes.
I've not got around to playing it yet, but from all I've heard is nothing but good.
Nothing but good news.
Everyone says Metroidvania. It's not Metroidvania. It's Metroid. It's Metroid with Strider in it, basically.
Which just sounds like heaven.
Which is really good. It is really awesome. It feels like there's somehow something a little lacking there. I don't know what it is, because I think it's fantastic and I love it. But it still feels like there's something missing and I can't put my fingers on it. I think it's the actual Castlevania elements, like the levelling up and the shop and stuff like that. That's not in there.
No.
You just find pickups and power-ups exactly like you would in Metroid.
Yeah.
It's exactly like Metroid.
It's still cool.
But it's an awesome game.
Double Helix's last game before being purchased
by Amazon.
Coming soon, the Amazon game console.
Oh dear, I wonder if they're going to be programming those little drones that are going to be delivering your parcels next year.
I'm so going to love getting my old slingshot. What am I getting today?
I'm busy training some mecha hawks. I've just kind of like got these big cyber talons, you know, to just kind of like take them out the sky.
You can go into, is it Gaia mode? What's it called?
Girl walk.
Gay walk.
Girl walk.
Gay walk.
Gay walk.
Girl walk.
Gay walk mode.
Gay walk mode.
Oh,
that would be brilliant. That would be fantastic. Yeah, and
that's probably the mecha version of Chowaniki. That's probably what the mecha version of Chowaniki actually has, a gay walk mode.